Right before we jump into this preview of the Nikon D7200, if you haven't signed up for the Phronos Photo email list, you can do so. Click this box. We'll take you over to the website where you look for the orange box, put your name, email address in it, hit send it, and I will send you a free guide to capturing motion in low light situations. Jared Poland, phronosphoto.com, and this is a preview of the Nikon D7200 camera, where I'm going to give you my thoughts and ideas and who I think it's for, as well as running through the specs. So let's get to the specs right now. 24.2 megapixel DX sensor with no OLPF. Now, if you're asking yourself, what did the Nikon D7100 have? Well, it had a 24.1 megapixel sensor. So what's the difference here? 0.1 megapixel. Not a big deal so much there. It still shoots at 6 frames a second, 7 frames a second in 1.3x crop mode. So in crop mode, you're getting 1 extra frame per second. Now, where they did make a change here is that the processor is 30% faster, meaning you will get 18 14-bit RAW files in a row, opposed to 6 in the D7100. You also will get 100 JPEGs. I don't remember what the old one was. I think it was 35 or something, but you'll get 100 JPEGs in a row. Now, it has a 3.2-inch screen. Basically, it's the same body as before. Same as the D7100, same screen and all. I would have liked to have seen a touchscreen. I've really fallen in love with the touchscreen, especially on the D5500. I just love playing with the touchscreen. It's just really, I think it helps my workflow as a photographer, but still 3.2-inch screen, 51-point autofocus system, EV up to -3, meaning that helps in low light situations with your autofocusing. 15 cross-type sensors, that's better. You know, cross-types are better than just autofocus sensors. Now, I don't understand how Canon has 63 cross types in their 7D Mark II, and Nikon somehow doesn't have, say, 39 cross types or more. I really don't know the reasons behind that, but maybe somebody could shed some extra light on that. Excuse me. Right here it has the ISO range is 100 to 25,600 natively. Before, with the 7100, it was up to 12,800 with a high one of 25,600. Now, they've done something different here in the 7200. It has an H1 mode and an H2 mode, except they only shoot black and white. So 51,200 in black and white and 102,400 in black and white. Now, that's extreme for a DX sensor. Remember that. Now, on to some of the video things. It will do 1080 at 60 frames a second only in 1.3x crop mode. So that means that any lens that you put on it there, you're going to multiply it by 1.3 times on top of already that 1.5 time crop mode. At least I think so. That's how it works. But it's magnifying it even more. But you're still getting 1080 at 60 frames a second. So even though you're using a smaller portion, it's still 1080. You're not losing quality when you do that. It also does 1080 at 2430 and the normal settings that it does there. Let's see. It has zebra stripes, which it hasn't had before. I would rather see focus peaking than zebra stripes. I'm not a big fan of, zebra stripes are zebra stripes. Focus peaking, though, which will help you focus where you need to focus, is more important than zebra stripes. So Nikon, get on that, get that going. Let's see. Exposure smoothing plus auto ISO for video is a great feature. I've used it in the D4S. That actually didn't have the exposure smoothing. It just had the auto ISO. But for example, if I was to be in a garage shooting a video, then the garage door opens and we walk right outside, the ISO and exposure would generally go smooth. But you still lock in your manual settings. You lock in your 1/50th of a second if you're shooting at 24 frames a second, and you lock in your aperture, and the only thing that it's going to change is your ISO. Smoothly. It's a great feature. I love that a lot. 1/8000th of a second, where the Nikon D750 only does 1/4000th of a second, but that is full frame. And then the biggest before I get to the biggest question, it has Wi-Fi plus NFC. So if you don't know what NFC is, you basically can say a lot of Android devices are NFC compatible, and so is the new iPhone, where you'll be able to just touch the phone to the camera, and it's going to pair them for whatever functions they come up with to have it. Even with Wi-Fi, we can pop in here how I use the D5500 with Wi-Fi to shoot a cool picture at the pizza place. That was cool how I held it up there on the guy and then did it Wi-Fi. The biggest question I will ask is, will it be recalled? Nikon has a way of having things recalled lately, so hopefully this won't be recalled for their sake. And then lastly but not leastly, I guess that works, it is going to sell for $1,199.95 body only, which is not a lot more expensive than a D5500 body only at $900. So, who is this for? Before I do that, they did add one thing. They have a wireless lav system that's done through Bluetooth that they say you'll get 50 meters, $250. I'd be interested to check this out to see how it works, but not sure that it's going to be the quality that I'm looking for. But that's just a guesstimate on the specs that they told me about. So who is it for? That's what you people want to know. And by you people, I mean you people out there interested in this camera. If you have a D7100, you're probably not going to dump it and buy this camera. It doesn't make that much sense to do it. The D7100 was fantastic. I hated the D7000 personally. I have one. Hated the focus issues that I had with it. The 7100 was one of the sharpest cameras that I used. The D7200 is going to be great for people that are shooting sports. Going to be great for people that are looking to do video as well. It's just a very well-rounded camera. Now, if you're looking between this or a Canon 7D Mark II, that's up to you deciding on what system you want to go with. That 7D Mark II, we have a full review probably over here, which you can click to see the real-world review that we did of that. So you can see if that's a camera for you, but that is more expensive than this camera. So I don't think that this is a direct competitor, but this is a very, very nice camera. Lots of frames per second, great ISO capability, going to be good for concerts, going to be good for portraits, going to be good as a starting point if you put good glass on it, because glass is the most important thing that you can do for any camera body, whether it's Nikon, Canon, Sony, Olympus, whatever it is. That's what I have to say. So that is where we're going to leave it. That's a preview of the Nikon D7200. We'll get our hands on it to do a real-world review as well as a free user's guide, which we will be putting together. So thank you guys for watching. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya. So I hope you liked that preview of the Nikon D7200. If you like videos and you like photography and learning, please go ahead and subscribe right here on YouTube so you can get the latest videos as they go live. And to see a real-world review of the Canon 7D Mark II, you can go ahead and click that up here just to check that one out.